going on, everybody? Mala here. How you guys doing today? Today I wanted to ask you guys for your help. I've been trying to understand, to piece together in my head what to think about the Mac Pro. I already have my opinions about the, Pro Display XDR. We're gonna get to it in a second. But this guy, the Mac Pro, I've honestly been having quite a rough time trying to understand it. I know for a fact it is not for me. I am a content creator, gamer, even if I was to build a super powerful machine, probably would never go for the type of components that go into a workstation pro grade thing like the Mac Pro. And I was under the impression, from the keynote at least, that Apple didn't overprice it, like being able to get two of those MPX modules with 4 Vega 2 GPUs inside the machine, 56 teraflops of ridiculous graphics performance, 1.5 terabytes of super fast memory, 28 core CPU. Those things seem outlandish because I do not know what type of workflow would actually use all that. Yes, they did show us a couple of different examples in Logic and Final Cut Pro on stage on both video editing, which I thought was awesome, with 3 simultaneous 8K streams rolling at 100% quality with no choppiness, with effects on top and all that. That's amazing. And the Logic one with the soundtrack for the documentary with 1,000 different lines of instruments. That does seem like... But are those actual examples of stuff that would be able to take advantage of that amount of graphics power and the 1.5 terabytes of memory? I do not know. Would love you guys to educate me, for real. But on top of that, and my main issue of not knowing what to think about Apple's pricing strategy with the Mac Pro is this. A couple of different people pointed me to videos and discussions saying that the potential actual components that Apple would put in the new Mac Pro amount to about half of what they're actually, asking for it. Which sounds really weird for me, because either Apple flat out lied on stage using the brand logo of one of their competitors, saying that that workstation machine, for example, with the same configuration costed almost $2,500 more than the Mac Pro, which is weird. Or everybody that's trying to piece together how would Apple actually build it and how much it would cost are not looking at the correct components or the whole story. One of the things that crossed my mind was, if you're a company that's looking at something of that caliber, you are probably not going to ask the IT guy to go and purchase all the components separately and build the machine in-house. You're most likely going to go for a company that could provide you with the service of delivering it already, assembled, properly working, with the support for continuous maintenance for 1 or 2 years at least, to make sure that awesome piece of gear that you just bought doesn't fail on you, because that's probably going to be a very important piece in your ensemble, right? So if that's the case, and the difference between the prices of the components themselves and the full built machine is all the services going behind it, you still need to account for that in real world scenarios when you compare prices of components versus what Apple is charging. And that's another thing I'm not entirely sure about. Would absolutely love is someone that works at a company that uses this sort of stuff could, again, educate me down below. That said, aside from the cheese grater look, the actual engineering of the new Mac Pro is something that I do find really impressive. It would be awesome to be able to get my hands on one, but I doubt if I would ever be able to, even the absolute basest of models. Now, as for the Pro Display XDR, from what they said on the keynote, it does not sound like you can find a Pro Display as good as it. I did see a couple of people saying that those Pro displays, like the $40,000 ones, they have features that the Pro Display XDR doesn't, but they are also apparently features that not necessarily are going to be useful or that you can add with external stuff. And I would bet Apple partners like Blackmagic are probably going to provide stuff that adds on those extra things. Still, it sounds to me like if you were maybe trying to get one of those $40,000 displays, you can get 3 of these instead of one and still have $22,000 to spare to spend on extra gear for your company. And that sure does seem like a bargain. But when you look just at the display for us, the normal consumers that are again not the target demographic for something like this, it costs $6,000 if you want to stand, obviously, and that's like really expensive. I mean, I use ultra-wide monitors, so if I would want to get the extra real estate to maybe compensate, I'd need to get what? 2 of those for $12,000, and I was already bitching about getting one baseline Mac Pro that is just $6,000. So yeah, not for me, but I would again love to see some sort of content like in person being displayed on one of those. The stand though, borderline impossible to justify. I did even tweet this out that I had the impression the monitor would actually come with a stand, because to me it was weird that they were making such a big thing about you being able to attach and detach from the stand with such ease, like it was engineered to be seamless and fast and quick and secure, and that they were just telling everybody that if you want just another stand, like a second or third one, you can buy it and it costs $1,000. Like you have one studio here with your Mac Pro with wheels and the monitor on the stand, you need to go to another studio like over there across town or across the hall or across the building. You just unplug the monitor itself, unplug the cables, grab your Mac Pro, wheel it away to the other side, plug everything in and start using. Even if that was the case, if you had to spend that much R&D on a monitor stand that it costs $1,000, you over-designed it. Like, there is no way to justify this. But that's Apple, I guess. And I'm probably also never going to need to think about the $1,000 for a stand, because that monitor probably never gonna come close to this setup. Anyway, that's been it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave any comments or suggestions down below. Actually, please comment and suggest and educate me, give me your opinions, tell me what you guys think. If you work in companies or with those types of gear, please do tell me what are we missing in the whole discussion? What are we not looking at correctly? Is the Mac Pro overpriced? Is the monitor actually good? Is it a bargain, like I said, for the price against $40,000 other options? Let me know. So thanks a bunch for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.